Hey everybody, it's Meredith Miller with Inner Integration. Today, the topic I have for you is build integrity to build trust. So I've talked a bit about the wound that takes place to trust after abuse. Your sense of trust has been destroyed. If your childhood was controlled by a narcissist, you may have only ever known life, not being able to trust yourself, other people, or even the universe, God. So working on this wound of trust is really important after abuse. And like all of the work that we do to transform our lives, it starts within, right? It starts inside of us by building self-trust. One of the most powerful ways to rebuild your self-trust is through your 100% commitment to your integrity. So what is integrity? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. It's the quality of being whole and complete. So for me, integrity is when your actions are in alignment with your true core values. Your values are like your main moral principles in life. What's important to you? What matters to you? Your actions reveal your values. So how do you know you're in integrity? Your conscience will tell you if your conscience works right. Unlike, as we know, some cluster B personalities where their conscience doesn't work right. It doesn't have that scale that lets them know they have a sense of guilt. When they hurt someone, they feel heavy. They have a sense of healthy shame when they've hurt someone. They don't have that ability. But if your conscience works right, what's going to happen is when you step out of integrity, you're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel good about yourself. So maybe in the moment when you were doing or saying that thing that you later regretted, maybe in that very moment, when the excitement and the adrenaline was going, you got caught up in the moment, and you felt okay, or maybe you even felt really good and exhilarated, but then later in retrospect, that excitement wore off, the adrenaline wore out of your bloodstream, now you don't feel so good. You keep rehashing a conversation or an event, and you wish you would have made a different choice. You wish you would have said that instead or done that instead. And you might even feel like a sense of dread come over you about the actions that you took. These are signs that you're not in integrity. So how do you get back into integrity? You want to ask yourself, what is the next action step of integrity for you? Then do it. What is the next action step of integrity for you? And do it. To reflect upon your integrity further, you can ask yourself some questions like, what values are your actions revealing? Like if someone were to follow you around during a day, like today, and they knew nothing else about you, they don't know anything else about you except for what you've done, and they've just observed, what would that person, that observer, say that your values are, judging by the actions you've taken that day, today? Are those the values that you actually believe in? And if not, then you see where your actions are out of integrity and what you need to do differently to get your actions back in integrity with your values. When was the last time that you really evaluated and articulated what your values are? Start there so you can take the actions that reflect those values and moral standards that you actually want to live by. Integrity is unique to each person. So don't expect others to have the same definition of integrity as you do. They may have different values. They may have similar values but different standards about what that value means to them. So for example, if you value loyalty in terms of being a team with your partner, you can always count on each other, you always have each other's backs, you're going to defend each other. But let's say that your partner values loyalty more in terms of fitting in with their social group, their friends or their family, and being accepted by that community. Then when one of their friends or family disrespects you, they don't defend you because they would rather get the approval, the respect, the loyalty from the group. So that's going to feel disrespectful to you and to your value of wanting to feel like your partner is loyal to you as you are to them. So if you accept that treatment, and I'm not saying that's a bad person, that person just has different values than you. They don't see that as disrespect. They see the disrespect having more to do with the group. If they were to stand up for you instead of the group, that they would lose face with that group. They wouldn't fit in. They wouldn't feel like they belong. Okay, so if you accept that treatment by staying with that person and allowing that behavior to go on, then you have stepped out of integrity with yourself. You're accepting something that's not okay with you. You're accepting something that's disrespectful to you according to your values and the standards that you have around your values. It's not that one of you is right or wrong. You're simply incompatible because the standards and values don't match. So you can't be in integrity with yourself and be in relationship with that person. You are in integrity when your actions reflect your values. So maybe you're thinking, well, I'm in integrity about 50% of the time or even 80% of the time, so that's pretty good, right? It doesn't work like that. Being partially committed to your integrity is like not being committed to your integrity. It's only going to keep causing you the same insecurities, self-doubt, self-hatred, regret. So you're either in integrity or you're not in integrity at any given moment. So which is it? It's a choice in every moment to take the action of integrity or not. Integrity isn't integrity just when other people are watching. If you want to actually feel good about yourself, no more part-time integrity. Part-time integrity is not integrity. Remember, you're either in integrity or not. What you did this morning, yesterday, last week, last year, years ago, none of that actually counts towards your integrity in this very moment. Because if you are out of integrity right here in this moment, that's the you that you're representing right now. Get in integrity. Stay in integrity, even when the choices are difficult and tempting you to step out of line, to do or to accept something that isn't in integrity with who you are. The universe will reward you the more you're in your integrity, because when you're in your integrity, you're speaking your truth, you're acting your truth, you are living your truth. When you're in integrity, you're going to repel abusive people, because when you're in integrity, they can't entice you out of line in order to use that as leverage against you later. You know what that's like if you've been with an abusive person. That doesn't work. Also, you'll say no to behavior that doesn't match your standards of respect because you know that if you tolerate it, you're out of integrity. When you are in your integrity, you repel people who don't care about you because you're not willing to risk what's most important to you for the fantasy of what you wish you could see or what you would hope existed. Do you want to trust yourself? Build your integrity. Do you want to be able to trust others? Look for their integrity through their actions. You will only be able to recognize this when you are in integrity with yourself. Trust is built or destroyed over time. Self-trust is built by observing your own behaviors in order to understand what your values are and if you're in integrity with your values. Trust in others is built on observing their behavior over time to see what their values are, if they're in integrity with their values, and if your values match. You can't trust someone who isn't in integrity with themselves. If they aren't in integrity with themselves, they don't respect themselves. So how can they possibly respect you? You need to be in integrity if you want to be with others who are in integrity. Get honest with yourself and look at your actions and how they reflect your values or not. Dig deeper into your core values to identify what they really are. That gives you a helpful filter for making decisions, because that filter becomes a question. Is this action, word, thing that I'm going to do, is this a step of integrity for me? And that's your answer. When you're at a point in your healing journey and you don't know what to do, you're stuck, you can't move forward, you don't know what's next, look at your integrity. Become lucid in that dream and take the reins back by getting yourself in integrity. Ask yourself, what is the next step of integrity for you? So have you been working on your integrity? What are you noticing in relation to your sense of trust, your trust of yourself, and your trust of others, the more that you work to be in integrity with yourself? How is that changing? So I would love to hear from you. If you want to leave a comment on this topic below the video, share some ideas about how you've been getting yourself back to integrity, how you've been noticing what those values are, and how you've been changing your actions to reflect the values that you actually want to live by. I'm sending you a big hug.